Hey ladies and gents, this is Izdawiz coming to you with a review of the Mythic Legion's Zarya figure. So let me read the bio for Zarya for you. Alright. Zarya. A lesser demon from the same Netherrealm that was once home to the great demon king Azahazzar, Zarya is one of the top generals in the Circle of Poxxus. With a gift for casting dangerous and exotic spells, Zarya's power reveals that of faction leaders. Zarya's power rivals that of faction leaders Azhar and Zazhar. Often at odds with the powerful pair, she is careful not to reveal her true ambitions in the event that Poxxus returns and restores Azahazzar to his true form. Alright, so this is the third demon. We've had Azhar and Zazhar. One of them's blue, one of them is yellow. I don't remember which is which, but Zarya. Let me tell you, this is my last review of all the Advent of Decay figures. And reason being is I was scared to take her out of the package. I don't really like her. She looks like the devil's sister. And I grew up in an apocalyptic cult. I'm not in it anymore, and I haven't been since I was 15. But still, all those years of programming me with the, demons are coming for you if you don't do what we say, and all that kind of stuff. She's scary. She's scary looking, and while other people may not mind that because they haven't been programmed that way, I just don't really like her, and I don't really care for her in this form. Now, Azhar and Zazhar, if you saw my review of theirs, they're pretty scary too. They had me hyperventilating. They're really cool, but I put them somewhere in my collection, and I don't remember where. So they're not on permanent display. I couldn't tell you where they are. That's why I don't have them to compare with her. And I'm pretty sure I turned the blue one into a custom. I took his head off and I turned him into a custom figure. So anyway, I put off reviewing her because I didn't want to take her out of her package, because I didn't want her to haunt me or haunt my dreams. All right. Now, obviously, I'm being a little silly there, but I'm telling you that I'm probably not going to be that terribly objective about this demon character, because she is satanic, and I had to bring in some backup. I have Jesus here, my custom kit bash Jesus, who's kicking Satan's ass. I have a candle that I got at I'm not Catholic, but I got that at a mission. And I have a couple of Templars that I can break out to fight if she, comes to life and starts poking me with her sharp little accessories. All right, so Zarya, who I'm already going to say I'm prejudiced against. I harbor invidious discriminatory animus against her. So everything that I have, and I'm going to say, you want to take with a grain of salt, because obviously this gal is not for me. First thing, what I'll end up doing is I'll probably take her head off, put a helmeted head on from another figure. This is a great thing for Mythic Legions. Maybe swap out her feet and then have her be like a Fury, like a red orc. And then, as cool as this, as long as she doesn't have those horns, then I'm cool with her, kicking butt next to a red orc or whatever. Or as a red orc. Good thing about Mythic Legions, if something is not your cup of tea, you can modify it and make it so it is. So she comes with this mage staff. Obviously, she has magical powers. We've seen that before. We've seen all of this armor before. We haven't seen it with hooves, except for on Azhar, Zazhar, and Boreer and other figures like that. But everything about the way the paint is done on the body, the tampos, the tattoos, really well done. The shading on the body is really well done. I like this sword that she has, a very wicked looking scimitar. I like this blue sort of ponytail that pops out. It has kind of a genie quality to it. Okay. Her face is a cool sculpt. Her ears are cool. I can appreciate where the sculpt was coming from. She does look like the feminine version of Azhar and Zazhar. Okay. But I do not like the paint on the face because it doesn't really match the paint on the body that well. And I don't know. This is the first figure I've had. She just got pissed off at me and she cast a spell at Myria. And Myria dropped off the table. Okay. This is the first figure in the entire line that I'm going to say this about, but the face doesn't really match the body. And they should because it's the same skin tone. So I'm not sure why the face has this sort of darker face tone or head tone, but the body is brighter. So that's another reason that I don't really like her. And it makes it easier actually for me to just say, hey, well, I'm not gonna display her with her head on that body. I think that, it just put any other head on her and she's going to be good. Obviously not a male elf head, but just any other sort of female head with a closed face, so you don't see the red. But look at that. Look at the tone. See, okay, it's got yellow in here, and this has some yellow in it, but the red tone that's on her face, I guess, would match her arms, but it doesn't really match on top of her neck, right? And so it should be blended better. And somebody who has a little bit of skill could probably easily add a wash to the neck and blend it in better. Or maybe that it wouldn't bother them at all. I mean, it is a supernatural being. Who's to say, what her coloring has to be. But yeah. Since I'm not going to put her head on there anyway, I don't really care. So, Zarya, I feel like I'm being a little harsh, and I do realize that just because I don't like you because you're a demon, that I'm probably giving you short shrift. Obviously, I love everything else about this except for the face and the fact that she's a demon and the fact that Jesus is going to have to give her the smackdown for being evil. Okay, ready, Jesus? Jesus is going to smack her down with the devil. All right, folks. Order is restored. Team Jesus is won. Zarya is vanquished. Nothing to worry about. I am gonna find Azhar and Zazhar though. I do want those guys, and I think one thing that probably would improve this figure substantially as a demon. I don't necessarily mind her being a demon. I don't really like looking at her face, right? So you add a couple of wings to her and she looks way better. A couple of black wings, right? But I'm still probably going to take the face off of it. See? Way cooler. So, all right. And maybe she'll just grow on me. Maybe it's just this anticipatory dread that I've had waiting to do this final review and confront her face to face with her gleaming yellow eyes and her, face with all the lines and scars and like ritualistic scarring or carving on the back of her head. Look at that. All that kind of scary stuff that probably wouldn't bother me if I hadn't spent 3 hours. Let's see. 4 hours at least on Sunday, and 2 hours on Wednesday. So at least 6 hours a week as a little kid, getting the bejeebers scared out of me by preachers that were yelling about how hellfire and brimstone were going to be the end of me. I do remember once when I was a little kid, I was in the front pew at church, and my knee was itching. So I lifted up my pants leg and I started scratching my knee, and the pastor from the front yelled at me, and I'm like a 4-year-old kid, right? He yelled at me in Spanish. He's like, "No te rasques las rodillas porque las vas a necesitar cuando estás corriendo en el infierno." Okay? Which basically translates, don't be scratching your knees because you're going to need your knees when you're running around in hell. Makes absolutely no logical sense. Right? If I'm probably not going to be in the same corporal form. Scratching my knee is not going to affect my ability to run around in hell if I eventually end up there. But yeah, that's what the pastor said to that 4-year-old boy. So yeah, scared the crap out of me. Getting yelled at from the pulpit when you're 4 or 5 years old, it's just not. It's not cool. So, but anyway, that sort of illogic, that sort of nonsense is part of the baggage that I carry with me when I review this figure. So please take this review with a grain of salt. Is signing out.